call out.
Okay.
I see we have a quorum, but we could, I mean, if Coy can, everybody could be unmuted, I could go through the ones that have a vote if you'd like me to do that, and that'll be fine with me.
Okay. No, just keep it simple. All right. So can I get a motion and a second for the minutes, please?
We have a quorum, but we could,
Motion to accept the minutes.
thank you, Jonathan.
I'll second that.
All right.
Larry,
Thank you, Larry.
Thank you, Larry.
All right. Let's see. Let's move to, project updates and data snapshot review. Richie or Andy, which one's taking this one?
Richie, you got on mute.
All righty, we'll tag team it. I'll start with projects and then shift to Andy for the demographics. With the projects, we have continued to see a lot of activity, again, in the manufacturing sector, and this is indicative of what is happening on the state level as well. There are no surprises with this. The state is experiencing the very same thing that you've been hearing us say is a lack of inventory. And because of lack of inventory, we have had some other projects leave the state and go to other places. However, I know that there are a number of different shell building programs that are being explored to see if we can find a way to get some inventory, not just here, but across the state. And we can have further discussions on those as that develops. But the good news is the projects are still coming in. The bad news is there's a lack of inventory. And we do have the quarterly report from the state EDP&C people. We can go over that in greater detail at our next meeting, but they are running very similar to us in terms of what is coming in. Andy, I'll turn it over to you for the demographics.
Hey, Coy, could you make it to where I could share my screen? Let's see if that happens.
Got it.
All right. All right. Hopefully you all are able to see the demographic screen at this point. These are updated as of November, I think, like 13th, or what is today, 12th? November 11th as well. Demographics report, as you typically see, population hasn't changed, and it will likely get updates when the federal census data comes out next year. So we're very hopeful that's going to be a continued rise. The wages data won't update again until after January because it's quarterly. And you can see there that we're still pacing exactly where we were prior to the last meeting. Unemployment rate, that's one of the things that does change. Federal unemployment data release for October indicated a 6.9% federal unemployment rate. Franklin County at the last report in September was at 6.7%, with North Carolina at 7%. And so as you can see, that I remember people were talking about the Nike check recovery. Well, this is looking as an inverse in that. You can see that it's slowly dragging back down. Whether we hit the 3% that we had prior to, that is up for the experts. I haven't heard a lot of people project that, but we're inching in closer and closer back to the 4% range. Permit activity, as Richie mentioned, we log this every single month, and we're starting to break it out by the renovations as well. That data, as we get a little bit more, we will start to put that into this as well. But what we had in October, we had 77 single home permits, and then we had 3 separate permits for commercial builds within the county. We'd like to see those commercial builds coming up, but as you can see, the single family home builds continue to pace all across. And labor force data, the total number of people in the labor force is listed in the blue line, and the total number of employed persons is listed in the red. As you can see, what I've highlighted out here is that our peak labor force total was back in October of 2019, which we had 31,952 people in the labor force. We're down to 30,194 in the force. But as you can see, that those numbers are starting to trend back towards the norm of what it was pre-COVID levels. And that seems to be a general theme across everything. We're starting to return back to pre-COVID levels. It'll just slightly be lower than what it was previously. All right, Richie, you want me to move to the project report and you can go through it?
Since I just spoke to that, I think we're okay.
Yep.
Yeah. I do want to highlight a little bit about the unemployment, though. We did participate with the Cartar Workforce Development Board and NC Works in what is now a virtual platform for doing virtual career expos. And this was also in conjunction with the Capital Area Workforce Development Boards. And we were able to have companies present opportunities for people who were seeking employment. And I'm very proud to say that Lou Grillo, our Workforce Development Director for Cartar, reported that we had nearly 1,200 job seekers explore career opportunities at this fair. So hats off to Workforce Development and Cartar Workforce. NC Works, we will continue to do this because we do know that we still have companies that are hiring today in Franklin County and surrounding.
Hey, Andy, there's one more piece of data I'm interested in.
Yeah.
What about cost of living? Do you track that also?
I don't, but I could try to put that in the future presentations. What are you wanting to see specific to cost of living? Just how it trends versus North Carolina and the federal?
I don't know how you can drill down in. If you can get it to the Franklin County level, that'd be great, or just the triangle would be fantastic compared to the state.
Okay. Yep. I'll work on that. I'll try to have that for our next meeting.
All right. Thank
you. Richie, I'm just putting up the project generation sheet so folks can see it.
Okay.
To speak exactly what you were saying. Manufacturing sector continues to lead on the project requests. And then as you can see here on the building size, as we mentioned in the last meeting, COVID has gotten companies to the point where they're starting to make requests, and a lot of them want pre-existing buildings. That building stock that Richie was talking about has become incredibly rare, and that's nationwide. And so everybody's chasing the ability to get buildings constructed so they can get filled. And you can see here on the footage requests. And so 40% of them are in excess of 100,000 square feet. And then that little honey hole there at the smaller level is between 10 to 30,000 square feet. And here's sector data on who's requesting. And if businesses are looking specifically for acreage pieces, again, if they're inquiring for large scale acreage tracts of 50 acres plus. All right, thank you.
All right. All right. That's it for both of you?
We do have some information on tourism. If you have a moment, we could bring those slides up, Andy.
Yep.
This is a report. As you know, we follow along with the state what is happening in terms of tourism, because that has obviously been severely hit with the COVID-19. And they did an update for us on the 26th of October. And we felt there were some statistics here that you might find interesting. First of all, this just gives you the overall impact on North Carolina tourism. And I think the key point there being the weekly travel spending dropped 58% since March 21st. You can see the number that we have lost in terms of visitor spending during COVID-19. And obviously, we're all concerned about the cumulative tax revenue that represents for tourism. However, the inverse of this is the leisure travel on the interstate has gone up. And if you'll go to the next slide. And if you can move it to the next slide. Thanks. Okay, this is what they are predicting in terms of when they think we will see some rebounding. And the biggest piece of this is with regards to leisure drive within the state. We are seeing an increase of participants driving to destinations and spending times at VRBOs. That is the one, I guess, good thing that you can see in this. If you'll go to the next slide, Andy. And you'll see there what the tourism agencies are looking for in terms of marketing. And the state did get $15 million in CARES Act funding to assist us in the marketing effort, so that the messaging can go out that North Carolina is a safe place to come to. It's not a hot spot. We're very fortunate that we have both the mountains and the beaches, and that is driving people to come into North Carolina and North Carolina people to go to those destinations. The workcations are a driver. I think everybody's using that term now since everybody's working remotely and doing schools remotely. There has been a substantial increase in the VRBO industry within North Carolina since people can work and go to school at different locations. So they're taking advantage of the beach and the mountains within North Carolina.
For those who aren't aware, VRBO is just a website where you can do vacation rentals. And so that's the term that they kept using, but that's just basically like timeshare rentals.
Thank you, Andy.
No problem. Not sure everybody was on that.
Got it.
One of the things that I heard I'd like to add on is that, as a person who lived in North Carolina and lived elsewhere, we always joked that North Carolina was the place where people in state vacationed in state. They didn't leave the state to go vacation. Well, during COVID, that seems to be even more true as interstate travel continues to intensify as people were going to the mountains and the beaches, and their overall travel and summer vacation plans didn't change.
So just for clarification, so we're saying leisure travel, that's like hiking up in the mountains and, walking the beach and finding waterfalls and that kind of stuff. Is that right?
You got it. That's exactly right.
Okay. It's funny, I've done a lot of the same thing, that stuff I haven't done in the past either, so I can understand for sure.
Yeah, one of the ways in which we've determined that leisure travel is way up is that the amount of people in our state parks and our regional parks is significantly higher than it ever has been. And when you couple that with the fact that sales of cycling equipment is up like 65%, paddle sports sales is up 55%, golf sales is up 55%, campers and stuff like that are up 30%. People are still traveling and they're still doing all that stuff in state, and they're buying more equipment to do so. And that was supplemental information that we heard at that tourism report.
All right, awesome. All right, if there's nothing else, I'm gonna move to municipal reports. Sounds good? All right, who wants to go first? Let's see, we've got Kim on here, we've got Jonathan.
Yeah, and we also have Mayor Fonzie Flowers from the town of Youngsville. His phone number is the one with the area code 984. That's Fonzie.
All right.
Matt, I'm happy to start.
All right, go ahead.
When you brought up one thing before I start, when you brought up cost of living, I think that would be a good thing if we could boil that down to the county level. It would be nice to be able to show or use that as a marketing tool for ourselves to say, you can move here, your house is going to be cheaper, your cost of living is going to be cheaper, especially with COVID letting everybody know they now can work from home and all those things. Could be useful for us to, recruit folks out of the lower, Raleigh area. I know my friends who live in like Apex, Fuquay, they're amazed at the house you can get in Lewisburg compared to what they're paying for in Apex, Fuquay. It's almost twice the house. So just a thought.
My only worry on the cost of living is that data might be quarterly. So I just want y'all to understand that granular, it gets down there, it doesn't come out quite as quickly, but we're going to do everything we can to put a good snapshot together for you.
Cool. Thanks, Andy.
No problem.
First, I think this is Kim's first EDC meeting as county manager. So congratulations. That's very exciting. Looking forward to working with you.
Thank you very much.
A couple things just happening in Lewisburg. We're finally starting to see some of the housing that Youngsville and Franklinton are seeing. Even so in like the infill areas, places where I would not have imagined houses going 5 years ago, people are buying and starting to put up houses. So it's pretty interesting to see, as well as we're starting to get calls about new developments in places we also would not have thought about 3-4 years ago. So that's very interesting and exciting. We've started a South Main Street corridor improvement project. Not a whole lot of funding in it, but a little over $100,000 to try to fix up that stretch between the river and the Walmart area. DFI, which is the Development Finance Initiative with the School of Government, they're kind of our first phase to look at that property and figure out what are our weak points, what properties the town should acquire, which ones have a better use than what they're currently being used as. They start their work, I believe Monday, so we're excited for that. Got another 125,000 from Tobacco Trust Fund for Depot Hill. I think the longest project the town's ever taken on continues. So we look forward to getting some more funding to go towards that project and working on that. As for the industrial park project, we got forced to do a couple more studies and plans. Those are almost done. And now it's in the hands of SHPO. So we are graciously awaiting their report and looking forward to seeing what that says. But we're hopeful we can start on the design aspects first of the year. And we are kind of dipping our toe in the water of spec buildings and trying to see if we can't get something going where we can build some spec buildings while building the park at the same time and go ahead and get some stuff available. So we're pretty excited, and we'll see how it goes. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Kim, you want to go next?
Sure, be glad to. Good morning, everyone. This is an awful lot of rain falling out here behind me. I was just had to excuse myself for just a minute to follow up on these National Weather Service alerts. So I think we all need to be mindful of that and anything else that comes out in regards to that. It's been a fast week and a half here in the county manager's office. So Open Broadband has continued to progress with their installation. They've got some progress at Owens Park. We hope to turn that up the first within the next couple of weeks. I'm actually setting up a meeting to get some more definitive updates from Open Broadband tomorrow. We also had 2 great grant applications. You all may be aware of that already, but CenturyLink and Open Broadband both submitted applications for the special round of great grants, the $32 million. And so hopefully we will hear from those in December. The CenturyLink solution is a fiber to the home solution in 2 different parts of the county. And of course, Open Broadband is continuing their fixed wireless solution in some additional sectors, which was their original plan when we struck an agreement with them back in June of 2019. Most of you all are aware, we have a COVID outbreak at the Franklin County Detention Center. We're keeping a watch on that, but of course, COVID, the whole situation with that has created lots of challenges for everyone, and certainly has created challenges in terms of our economic development. So again, we're all being mindful of that and watching that very closely. I could talk about lots of different things, but I'll stop there and look forward to sharing more with you all at future meetings as we make progress here in Franklin County. And thank you again for everyone's support.
All right. Thank you, Kim. And congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Let's see. Fonzie, I see you on the call. You want to give us a report? Lori, how does he unmute?
Coy may have to unmute him, or he should. Coy, do you need to unmute it's 984 area code? It's Fonzie Flowers.
Yeah, I asked him to unmute. I can't unmute him.
Okay, Fonzie, if you're there, are you calling in from the phone? Then I think you've got to do. Yeah, if you're on the phone, I think you need to do *9.
One day we'll have face-to-face meetings again. One day.
Yeah. There we go.
Anything? Okay. Sorry about that. We generally work through Microsoft Teams, so the Zoom stuff is a little tricky at times. If I'd known, can you guys still hear me? Okay.
Yep, we got you, Fonzie.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So normally Phil would be the one to chime in and give the updates because he's more hands-on with the day-to-day stuff. He is on leave right now with this week with some stuff with he and his wife are going to be expecting. So that's good news for those guys. But the only thing that I really have is something that we've been working on in town for several years is finally coming to fruition. and that's our Main Street improvement project. We finally got the green light from DOT to go ahead and do some spending to, so we would get reimbursed. As I'm sure a lot of folks are aware, DOT has had some deficiencies in their budget due to various reasons. But we were to the point in town that we were just going to fund the darn thing and be done with it. So we were certainly happy to hear that DOT did find some funding to reimburse. The project, like I said, has been on the books for several years now. I think even going back to like 2016 is when we first started really turning some wheels with it. And we were hopeful that it was going to be done before now. We currently have some bids out for the construction with the road piece of it, the sidewalks, and we're looking at trying to break ground in February to get that started. And it should be about an 8 to 9 month project. So very excited. We've done a lot of work in town with getting our Main Street businesses looking nice and neat. So I think having a fresh grade level road with curb and gutter and sidewalks will put a nice little bow around that whole thing. So that's what I'm excited about, and that's what I've got to report.
All right. Thank you very much, Fonzie.
And I would be remiss if I didn't say congratulations to a couple of folks as well. Kim, congratulations to you and to Mr. Chairman on your recent election victory. So definitely looking forward to working with you guys in high-level capacities.
Thank you, Fonzie. All right, let's see. Is Lori, anybody from the town of Bond or Franklinton on here?
No, they were signed up, but I don't see Greg or Pam.
All right. All right. Anybody else have anything to chat with? We'll let you go. For me personally, I know, Rich, you had sent me an article. It was a great article. There's a lot of stuff that I've been seeing also, and from the building community, is that we're seeing a lot of people move out of the towns and looking for rural areas. And we're also seeing a lot of heavily populated areas from across the United States move to North Carolina into our rural areas. And a lot of my personal customers, I'm seeing a lot, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, or a couple of the ones I've seen, a lot more of people moving from those areas into the rural areas of North Carolina. So, the COVID crisis, one way or another has convinced them that they want a little part of God's country too. So it's nice. It's nice to have the interest here. I don't necessarily like the reason for it, but it is nice having them here. And I think the trend has continued for a long time, and I think we should be prepared as a community for all the new people that are going to be moving here. So, but it is, just like you're talking about, there are areas that are, it's changed the landscape, just like you're talking about more people are camping now, more people are visiting our state parks. This is another trend that has changed, and I think it's something that's going to be here for a while. So, anybody else have anything they want to chat about before we let you go? We had a short meeting today.
Matthew, I just want to tag team for a second and again say congratulations to you. I know we've spoken personally, but congratulations to you. Kim, congratulations to you. This has been a great time to celebrate some of the wins in our county, and so congratulations to everybody. I also want to take a moment to recognize Sherelle Lawrence. She is on for the first time, and Sherelle, you may know her husband, and Sherelle, maybe we can unmute you, but her husband has a food truck that I think everybody follows, and but she is now with Vance Granville Community College in Franklin County. Sherelle, is there anything you would like to say, if we can unmute you?
Oh, no. So just to say hello, it is such a pleasure to kind of be on this side of things and really learning more about the great things that are happening in our county. As you said, Richie, thank you so much. So my husband is the owner of Lawrence and Perry Barbecue, and so very well known in the area. We love Franklin County. I told him, I was like, we're probably never going to move from Franklin County. So absolutely love it. But we are very much the same as you were talking about, Matt. folks who came down from, I came down from Maryland and have planted my seeds here now for about 15 years, and I don't plan on going back anytime soon. So absolutely love it. I am the new dean of the Vance Granville Franklin campus here in Lewisburg. My official title with the college is the Dean of Corporate Learning and Professional Development. So I think maybe in like the July meeting, VP Edmonds came on and shared with you all that I would be coming, and we're adding this role. And my focus is really to help work with our community partners and businesses and really help to do some C-suite level trainings and middle management trainings and things like that. So super excited to get involved in the community and continue to build the great things that we have happening at our campus here.
Well, thank you very much. And I look forward to meeting with you.
Likewise, indeed.
All right. Let's see, Fred, Jonathan, Mark, Bruce, Larry, you guys have anything? Keith? All right, we got a short meeting today. You guys get something done now. All right, if nothing else, I'm going to adjourn. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye. Have a good day.
Stay dry, everybody.